Hi guys. So I'm so excited to introduce you to something that will solve so many problems. It's called Kami. Kami is a PDF writer, but it is more than a PDF writer. It is interactive. Students can do voice recordings, they can make videos, they can do simple underlining, drawing, striking out. You can create a blank page and do tutorials. You can screen record using Screencastify. You can share that document and work in real time with your students. You can have them have their own and then watch them as they go. So Kami has a lot of wonderful things that we can use to help with remote learning, help with everyday learning. I've used this for probably about 5 years in many different capacities, and my students love it. They would always ask, can we use Kami to do this assignment? And I'm not lying. I promise that they really ask that. So I hope that, once we're done all these tutorials, you see and fall in love with Kami just like I am, because it's an amazing tool and very user-friendly, intuitive. The kids love it, and it's going to be great. To log into Kami, you're going to click on the K. It will either be in the extensions or on the bottom of your screen. Then you're going to log in with Google. Prompt you to complete setup. Click K through 12 school. Click teacher. Click yes. Click Google Classroom. Type in the zip code, the name of the school. This will be the name of your building. So if you're at Baldwin, you'll type in Baldwin Elementary and so on. Click finish and you're all set. When you click continue, there will be some information that can help you get started and you'll be in Kami. So once you've logged into Kami and you click on the K, this is where it'll bring you. So there are obviously a couple of things that you can do here. The first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to open from Google Drive because that's relatively easy. It's super easy. It's all easy in Kami. I just love it. So we're going to click on it and you're going to have to allow it to access your documents. And I'm just going to click on PDFs and I'm going to scroll down and find a PDF for us to check out. I'm going to go to this math one. We're going to go to the math one. All right, so as you can see, you can run the OCR. The OCR is just going to make the text a little bit more readable to recognize it. You can do either one. Kami will read it, whether it's a PDF or whether you translate it to this. And sometimes if you're not online, so Kami works offline also, so you don't have to worry about the internet going down, so to speak. They have to be able to access the file, but once they access it, they can still work offline with it, and it'll sync once the internet goes back up. But sometimes if it says that this isn't working, that's what's happening. So I'm just going to click no thanks. You can click that and it'll take 2 seconds and it'll work that out for you. If you don't have a copy of the PDF in your drive, it's just going to ask you if you want to make a copy, and I'll show you an example of that later. You would just click OK, and then it would open in this screen again. All right, so as you can see, this is from the first grade math book. So all I did was I downloaded the different activities that I would ordinarily do in class, where maybe they would rip it out of their workbook. Now I have it in Kami and they can interact with it on Kami. Okay, so this gives us a couple of great things. If our students are at home unexpectedly, we can share this with them and they can write on it. As they're writing on it, I can see in real time what they're doing, so I can formatively assess their understanding. Okay, and I'll show you how to do that also. That's when we assign it through Google Classroom, which is super easy. Everything with Kami is easy. I'm so excited that we have it. So the first thing that I'm going to do is show you how to draw on it, because that's going to be one of the things that you're going to need your students to do. So use addition to help you subtract. 13 minus 8. All right, so maybe you want them to circle the different things that they need to take into account. Which 2 numbers do we need to identify before we can solve our problem? Okay, maybe we need to find our missing part, so we can have them circle their missing part. Maybe we want them to find the answer, so they can circle the answer as you're going through the example, just so you know that they're following along at home. Okay, then we can come down And we can have them interact with these different guided practice items. So we can have them draw their 6. Now I'm drawing this with a mouse. It's a little bit easier, but I did work with a first grade class and they did a great job going over the numbers. If we don't necessarily like them drawing the numbers and we want them to start looking at the keyboard and interacting with the keyboard, we can come over here to click on text box and we can click in the text box area and it will bring a text box. So maybe they use a text box to answer. So we could do 9 plus 8 equals 17. And now they have their text box here. Maybe you want to make sure that you can see it. So you're going to maybe ask them to change the color of the font. You can change it to red. We can change it to blue. We can change or green or blue or whatever you want to change it to. We also have all of these options up here. So some of us might be thinking, my first graders can't really type. So how are they going to answer a question like this? Cami has an answer because it's awesome. So if I click on text box and I click here, notice that I get this toolbar up here. All we have to do is find the microphone. Once you click on the microphone, it will enable voice typing. And then your students can discuss how they could use addition to solve 16 minus 9 without needing to be able to type. This will save a ton of time. Not only will this help the littles who don't necessarily know how to type yet, but it'll also help our IEP students. It'll meet these accommodations that we need for special education. It's really an amazing tool, and maybe our students are a lot quicker at talking out their reasoning and understanding than they are typing out their understanding. So this accommodation and this differentiation is a really awesome addition. And then when I stop it, it puts it into an easier format. You don't have that long, it kind of text wraps for us like a spreadsheet would. Then they just have to grab this and come down here. Now, you might be thinking our students aren't going to be able to grab this and come down here. I'm going to tell you, I used it in a first grade classroom and they were way ahead of me. I couldn't even teach them everything before they showed me. Maybe I even just put it out here. Because they started just clicking and learning on their own, discovering all the different tools. I know another teacher was using it in a third grade classroom and her student finished the assignment before she could even finish explaining the tools. So our students can do this. We just have to believe in them, and it's really going to change a lot of things for us. So we have all these options up here. I see that we need to put dots in here. So maybe what we do is ask them to look at the shapes, and we have the circle shape. So we can have them draw their circles. And this not only is helping them with their math, but for the littles, it's helping them with their fine motor skills. It's helping them with their, I put a couple too many. Oh no, I did good. It's helping them with their fine motor skills. It's helping them use the trackpad. It's showing them the different things that they can use. So there's a lot of different ways that you can use Kami drawing and shapes tool. If we need to erase something, we have erase over here. So I can click on erase. I can erase my drawings and shapes, or I can erase my annotations. So I'm gonna click annotations and it will erase the annotations for me. If I do my drawings and shapes, I can erase my drawings and shapes too. Okay, so that's our basic use of Kami. That's the super easy way. You can open it inside your K you can annotate it. It will save. Then you can even assign that to your students, and I'll show you that in our next video. But the main point is when you assign this to your students, they can interact with a PDF. You don't have to transform it. You don't have to change it. You don't have to do anything. You can simply put the PDF into Google Classroom, make a copy for each student, and they are able to interact with it, and you can watch them in real time.